Okay, so in our last video, we talked about the 12 things that we really used on the loop. And in this video, we talk about 5 things that we thought were going to be awesome and they just didn't pan out for our loop, and then a few things that we wish we had. So the first, and I'm really sad and disappointed because I really wanted this marine grade beanbag from West Marine. It's just always been in the way. And the vision of me relaxing at the end of a day in this thing just never exactly materialized.
Maybe a handful of times.
Yeah, so, and I used it a lot of the time in here in our cockpit because I didn't want to be out in the sun, it was hot, or there's bugs or whatever, and so we have couches everywhere in here. There's the helm seat, the cross from it, the this, the that. So you don't exactly need that back here.
We bought it for him for Father's Day right before we left on the loop, and it just,
I appreciate it.
The dog loved it.
Yeah, that's where she sleeps. She loves that thing. That's where she rides when we're underway. But I envisioned like many a night out on the bow listening to music on that thing, and it just hasn't materialized. But midway through the loop, I, at the recommendation of another looper, bought this inflatable like hammock situation. It's basically an inflatable beanbag chair,
which we've had at home as well.
But this was a better one, and I'm able to like take this little guy out. Like I can put it on the bow, I can inflate it in here, and I can take it to the beach, on the grass at different marinas and things. So
the best was a Shakespeare in the Park we were watching in Mackinac Island. The kids and I were on blankets, and he like his air beanbag chair, and the actors actually came out and were like, "That's the best thing that we've seen since we've been doing this." And he got to enjoy Shakespeare in the comfort of his beanbag chair.
yeah. So no on the West Marine beanbag chair.
Inflatable.
But yes on the inflatable hammock. I've missed a hammock. I'm a hammock guy at home, and that
is not an understatement. He owns 5 to 6 hammocks.
But there's no hammock ability on Witness. So, but a few marinas have had them, and I make a beeline for them, and I hang out there. So, yeah.
Okay, number 2, fender hooks. I just didn't bother.
Yeah, our training captain said, it's plastic. Eventually, plastic will break. He taught us
a quick and dirty way to
clove hitch on the rail,
and all 3 of us.
Our crew has done that. So it seems like a good idea. You just put it on and turn it and clip, and maybe it works for you in your boat. But for us, we tried it a little bit, and it just didn't work. And so just not something that we needed. Number 3, night vision goggles, or night vision of any sort. I got some late in our loop as a gift, and
which will be totally fun for other things.
And they were totally fun.
Yeah.
But it's a toy. It didn't end up being a useful tool for me because of a couple of reasons. There was
one, we don't want a boat in the dark.
Yes. And one time we came in after dark at 10 p.m. At Midway Marina, watched that video. It was insane. But, and that may or may not have helped at that time. But I'm driving the boat. I didn't need this here.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a whole boat, like FLIR system or something, great. But other than just screwing around and having fun as a toy, night vision was not something that was useful in the loop.
Okay, number 4 were these motion lights. And I would say that we did not use them. When we were in heavily populated areas and we were worried about people coming aboard.
But we never mounted them properly to like the outside of the boat. People put these on the outside with the motion detector on, and then
and they're solar powered.
Yeah, and they work great as advertised. They're a wonderful thing. It's just
are we lazy?
No, I didn't know where to put them, and then I don't like it when like people are walking by out here tonight.
And
they're always on, and so. So what we did use them for, like she said, is just we laid them around the cockpit. So if you opened one of these doors or something, a light's going to come on.
Yeah. Bright as the sun.
But I don't know. We bought them with the intent to hang them, and I think in part it's that they have a setting that's just kind of on or off. Like you can't really, like, there it goes, and so when they're mounted, you can't access the button to shut them off. So if you're in like a busy walkway that you don't want them on that night,
yeah,
I didn't want to climb up and like unvelcro them or unstick them. Anyway, they just didn't pan out like we thought they were going to pan out.
Yeah. So,
and then finally...
Yeah, another thing that we used, number 5, we used but not as much as we thought we would. So this is like a type of fancy rope ladder. So we used it quite a bit on the dinghy in the Bahamas when we were snorkeling. In and out, in and out. It wasn't easy. We still had to like clamber up. It wasn't pretty. And it worked okay, but on the swim step here, when our swim ladder is blocked by the dinghy, we would try this off the side, and it didn't work at all because it would just curve under. Yeah, and it didn't do that as much on the dinghy, but on the swim step, it would just curve under, and then, I mean, you have to climb up harder than without it. So
I'd say it works okay for the dinghy. It'll get you in, and I don't know how you would climb
not quickly.
Climb in the dinghy otherwise.
Yeah.
But for this the hard swim platform, we found ourselves either lowering the swim platform because it's hydraulic and just climbing up. But what I think
or using the paddleboard as a step down.
Yeah. What we wish we had is a dive ladder. We had some friends and we saw their boat and they had that hanging off the side, and they're not that expensive. That would have been the way to go for our swim platform.
Next time.
And I don't know what the better solution for the dinghy would be. I guess you could
It
could probably mount the same bracket and have that off the transom of the high field, but this was adequate for getting us back in.
Better than nothing.
Yeah. So, and then a bonus for you tonight: things we wish we had had. The family, everybody universally says Starlink.
Starlink.
We struggled with some internet, especially Bahamas, especially Canada, a little bit on the rivers. It is what connected our kids to their friends, and that was the biggest complaint that we had was we uprooted them from their friends, and having them stay connected I think would have been better for mental health aboard. And it's a stress relief. Like we upload videos, we watch movies, it's what connects us, and so we don't work from it, and so it's not like and that's how we set on the loop, is that we wouldn't need constant connectivity. And I will say that some of the nights that we didn't have internet were some of the best nights, and so there's super value in that. But had we to do over again, we would do Starlink. So
yeah, the mobile Starlink unit came out the month after we signed the contract for the internet modem that we use now, and so.
Well, sorry guys, we ran out of batteries.
So I guess we wish we had more battery.
Yeah, well, charge management on the boat this year has been like a whole thing. So yes, have a portable battery pack. I don't know how many lightning plugs we've been through for our iPads.
Some of them are just bad.
Yeah, the aftermarket cheapies. No. So anyway, that's what we bought but didn't use, and the things that we wish we had. The last one we didn't cover was a net, and that came from our son because he has been our retriever this year. He has dove down to find and snorkeled to find
things. I drop a lot of things.
Yeah, so we're going to do a whole episode next time on things we have dropped. Well, she has dropped in the water, and
we've all lost hats.
Yeah, Mason has retrieved a good majority of them, but anyway, a good net might have saved him some snorkeling. And yeah, so thanks for joining tonight, and we'll see you next week for what we dropped in the water. Kind of embarrassing, but there you go. Cheers.
Cheers.